The Nuclear Waste Management Organization hosted a public meeting at the CAM Community Center yesterday evening.
But the presentation the NWMO had prepared quickly turned into a town hall-style Q&A, with residents and nuclear waste site opponents demanding answers to their concerns. Carl Langdon reports.
The NWMO had booked CAM's community center on the invitation of a member of the public, but opposition groups raised the alarm over what they say was a lack of public notice about a public open house. In response, the NWMO told us the request for the session did not leave them with enough time to publicize the event. Members of nuclear waste opposition groups caught wind of the event and quickly notified their list of local supporters, leading to a showing of at least 50 members of the public.
Our organization is concentrating on the hazards of transporting and burying the waste. We transported a minimum of 1,600 kilometers one way by truck and possibly by train into northwestern Ontario if this site was selected. That's an awfully long way for critically hazardous waste, like very hazardous waste, to be traveling.
The NWMO is planning to announce a preferred site for an underground nuclear waste repository in 2024, either near Ignis or in South Bruce near Lake Huron. NWMO officials emphasize their perspective that the transportation process and waste containers have undergone rigorous testing, and that a misunderstanding of the waste itself has led to misunderstandings.
The fuel that we're talking about is a solid. It's not a liquid, it's not a green goo, it is actually a solid at the end of the day.
Hayo also noted that the problem of dealing with nuclear waste is one that society as a whole inevitably has no choice but to deal with.
The problem doesn't go away just because we don't want it, right? It is down at the reactor facilities. It's there. It has to be dealt with. It's been sitting there since the early 60s, and it's time to deal with it.
A sentiment that was certainly not lost on attendee Barry Wolfram.
There's a lot of not in my backyard, but if everybody in everybody's backyard says the same thing, we don't take responsibility for the problem. Ignis people who are considering this are considering being heroes. Somebody's got to take a responsibility. They're stepping up, maybe.
The NWMO say they plan to host more public events in the future and promise to share details with the community well in advance. Carl Langdon, TBT News.